We are joined now by today's race-winning crew chief, and that's Rodney Childers, and number 4 Busch Light Ford for Stewart Haas Racing. Rodney, walk us through your race today from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good day for us. You know, we had I guess you call it a good car off the truck, you know, and we were able to roll through tech first this morning and able to roll it straight to the grid and relax and just think about the race and what the racetrack was going to do over time and the things that we needed to be prepared for and that kind of thing. And, you know, we had a good car at the beginning of the race. We thought being a little bit too tight and we had to free it up for a while and got it pretty good through the middle of the race. You know, the guys on pit road, you know, were awesome all day. We had great pit stops and we had one slip up and got us back there in traffic for one run. But Kevin was able to, you know, fight back through there just a little bit. And then we were able to have another couple pit stops and cautions that the guys were able to knock it out of the park and get us back in the lead. And that was really key to get us back in clean air and track position and have control of the race.
Okay, we're going to start off with the questions from the floor with Jeff Gluck. Go ahead with your question, Jeff.
Hey, Rodney. I'm wondering, you know, there was a lot of speculation on what teams could really do. Obviously, you know, you couldn't go in the wind tunnel and stuff like that, but certainly you guys were working on your computers at home, trying to think up ideas. How much development do you think really went on? Like, you know, did Hendrick get better? Did you guys get better? Was everybody getting better this whole time? How much of a pause was there really?
I mean, all I can do is judge off of what we did. And like you said, you know, our place was probably more strict than what I wanted to see. You know, they shut the whole place down. And as you probably saw, when I posted it one day, it was 52 days I sat at home and didn't go to the shop. And, you know, this car was actually our homestead car from earlier in the year. It was ready to load and go to Homestead. As y'all know, we worked pretty far ahead. You know, Atlanta car was on the truck headed to Atlanta, actually sitting in the garage, and the Homestead car was done. It was set up. You know, everything was done about it. So when we went back to work, you know, Zippy could probably tell you I wore him out because I kept telling him that we weren't going to get things done. With how strict they were being on us and the shifts that we were working. And, you know, it was my shop foreman and 3 guys in the shop working. And from me sitting at home, I can't see at the shop what's happening. All I can do is picture in my head that we've got a shop foreman and 3 guys they're trying to prepare a car to get it ready to race. And I'm used to having 20 guys in the shop and we work 12 hours a day. And he's got 3 guys along with him, and they're only allowed to work 6 hours a day. But finally, you know, 52 days later, I got to go by the shop and see the car, and honestly, I felt 100% better. Those guys, I have such a great group at the shop that work hard. Dale Fishline has been around forever and ever and ever, and you know, no matter what car he's a shop foreman on, it wins races. And you know, I think a lot of this is part of him and the guys that he's assembled at the shop and the guys that he trusts. And you know, that's the biggest thing that I saw out this weekend.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Deb Williams. Go ahead, Deb.
Rodney, you were talking about being in communication with with Zippy during that time. When did you finally get by the shop to see it, and what was it that you saw that made you feel better?
I guess it was like Wednesday of last week. You know, I think from the beginning, Zippy told us, he's like, look, you know, I don't want you around all the people. I want to make sure our crew chiefs are healthy and stay that way. And we'll work out a time where you can come by the shop for 2 hours a week and you can at least put your eyes on it and feel better about it. And that's really what we did. And, you know, last Wednesday I was able to do that and you know, just feel better about it. And, you know, it's been interesting to learn through this process what tools are out there. You Microsoft Teams. We've wore it out, with all of our meetings with myself and my 3 engineers. We're on it all the time and working together, and just, those guys work really hard on the setups and, figuring out, what bump stops and what shocks and what ride heights and all those things that matter. We have wore the computer out on that stuff, and they do a good job. They always do, and that was a big key in today for sure.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Bob Pockris. Go ahead with your question, Bob.
Yeah, Rodney, did you say something on the radio that you might try to use this car on Wednesday, and how realistic is that?
I definitely think it's realistic. We were fortunate enough not to tear it up. We rolled through the OSS a minute ago, and honestly, it looks really good. The center of the back bumper at the bottom's pushed in a little bit from the restarts and getting the bump drafts on the restarts. But other than that, it's not bad. We got a little bit of right rear damage from hitting the wall, but that stuff's nothing compared to what it could have been. We got great fabricators that can flip it around and put new crush panels in it and have it ready to go. We haven't officially decided. I was just on my phone texting with old man and Dale Fishline, and just, we got one sitting there ready to go. The motor's in it. It's supposed to go to the chassis dyno in the morning. But I don't know. It's a two-edged sword. You can either take the one that's sitting there and hope that you get the packer exactly right and the bars, the bar preload set exactly right and all those little things, or you could just, put some crush panels in this one, make the body wear to pass the OSS, and put the same springs, same rounds, same sway bar, same drop links, and same, bump stops, packer, and go start the race and have some confidence in what you got.
And are there any procedures that you'd like to see changed for either Wednesday or for next week?
No. I honestly have been completely blown away through this process. I just said this to Claire on Sirius XM. Same thing. When you're sitting at home, you don't realize what's happening at the shop. You don't realize what's happening at NASCAR. You don't realize who's working on what the procedures are. How is it going to flow? Even this morning on the way to the racetrack, I'm like, man, this could be a complete mess trying to get in the racetrack when I get there. So, I get to the racetrack and everything is just absolutely seamless, pulling in, and the way that it was, operated outside the racetrack, coming in, and the amount of detail that was in all that, I was kind of blown away by. And then as I'm going through the tunnel, I'm like, all right, here's the next part. How bad is tech going to be with just me and Cheddar and an engineer and an interior guy? And, we unloaded off the truck. Everybody worked together, the teams, the officials, everybody respected each other and did everything that they were asked to do. And that's the part that it just blew me away today, that everybody just did what they were supposed to do. Most of the time that doesn't happen. And, it's impressive that everything went the way that it did. And, as far as the procedures, I don't know what they really could have done any better. The only thing that's ever going to be any better is to keep working on this virus and keep getting the United States, more healthy, and get our fans back in the stands one day and keep racing the way we are.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Peter Strada. Go ahead, Peter.
Yes, Rodney, you guys obviously had a major advantage today with pit stall number 1 on Wednesday. Obviously having a different pit stall, how will that change strategy?
Wednesday we'll have the same pit stall.
All right, thank you.
Great. Our next question will come from Jim Utter. Go ahead with your question, Jim.
Yes, Rodney, you guys started off early in the season, didn't finish worse than 9th. You came in the points leader through the 2-month break. Did you feel like today kind of capped what you had already shown as potential through the first 4 races of the season?
Well, that's one thing I talked about a lot with the guys, is just we don't necessarily have to go out there and win every race. We just need to keep doing what we're doing and keep knocking out top 5s and top 10s. And it's easy to say top 10s, but that's not really the goal either. It needs to be top 5s. And we were able to do that today. But I think these situations have always been good for us. I think unloading off the truck is something that my group does a really good job at. And I told the guys, I was like, we need to take advantage of this over the next month and do the best that we can, because if you look back through history, our stats of unloading off the truck fast are pretty good. So that's the things that we need to do. We don't need to let people have time to catch up, whether it be practice or whatever. So we strive to be the best when we get here and unload. And it's not always going to be that way. Lord, everybody goes through swings, and there's going to be one of these weeks in the next 7 races that we miss it big time and have to make big changes. So today was a good day. We learned a lot last year when we were here. We did a lot of things wrong, but we learned a lot, and we came back here with a different mindset and did a great job today.
Great. Our next question will come from Zach Sterniolo from the Pocono Record. Go ahead with your question, Zach.
Hi, Rodney. Would you change anything about your personal approach for Wednesday's race, whether it's when you left the house or just kind of the mental preparation of actually going through your whatever kind of routine you can build under the circumstances?
No, I mean, honestly, the last 2 days, I really tried to spend more time with my family and just do things to try to ease my mind. If you sit there in front of that computer for 8 hours a day and never stand up, finally it just wears on you, and then you end up second guessing everything that's in your mind, everything that you do. And we were still talking about changing bump stops, 2 nights ago, and because of a report and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, you guys are the best. We just need to stick with what we thought was right and go with our gut and leave it alone. And that's what we ended up doing, was just deciding 3 nights ago we were going to leave it alone. And we finished it up on Wednesday, and it was loaded in the truck Thursday morning. It didn't stay around in the shop with somebody tinkering on it till Saturday at lunchtime. It was loaded up early, and we went with what we thought was right.
Thanks very much, and congrats again.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, our final question is going to come from Jacob Seelman. Go ahead with your question, Jacob.
There we go. Rodney, first off, congratulations. Second, with this race being shorter than traditionally the 500 miles that you guys run for the Southern 500, did that have any effect on how you guys played strategy today? And with Wednesday night basically being a sprint race more or less, will that change what you guys have normally taken as the approach here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think Wednesday night's going to be a little tough on us starting back there. Our best case scenario is to have a lot of cautions and the pit crew knock it out of the park like they did today. And if you can knock out 12-5 stops every time you come down pit road, you're gonna end up there toward the front by the end of the race. But the thing that I probably noticed the most today was just how we kept firing tires on it, and we had a 400-mile race and 12 sets of tires. And honestly, I can't imagine showing up and not having 12 sets of tires. That would have been I would have had a heart attack at some point, I believe. But I think the night race, looking at the weather, it's supposed to be a lot cooler on Wednesday, so things are going to be completely different. The cars are probably going to turn a lot better. Everybody's going to have more tape on the grill, all those things. They're going to be faster. Normally when they're faster, it's almost harder to pass. So I think the track position thing will be key, just like it was today. And but overall, you got to have a car that's good, turns good, has good drive off, and doesn't eat the tires up. And hopefully, we can do that again on Wednesday night.
Rodney, congratulations on the victory. Good luck on Wednesday night. Safe travels to you. Look forward to seeing you there.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care now. And as a reminder to the media, we will have audio and video and transcripts of these availabilities on NASCARmedia.com. So we request that you go there. Again, thank you for being part of history today. And please let us know if you have any feedback from today's operation. We'll look to find the best ways to improve that going forward. So thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Great job, Matt. Y'all did a great job.
I
Take care,
concur.
everybody.
I second
You
that.
did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.